Hello, everybody. Anybody miss me? Well, I'm so sorry I missed out on the stream from last week, which was supposed to be on a Thursday, but however, there has been a major change in plans because, well, I had to leave town, and then one thing after another, well, the next few days it turned into car shopping, and then I ended up getting a new car. But if you've been following on my socials, you guys may have noticed that there is a car that I have, but I'm not going to go further into detail. But all I can say is, folks, that it is a small SUV, and so far I'm having fun with it. Anyway, how you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. My name's Marlon, and this is episode 12 of Kingdom Hearts 2. And I'm back, and for those of you who have just waited for me since my last stream last week, welcome back with open arms. And of course, I did tell you guys to turn on the notifications after you hit me with a follow, because sometimes I would stream on time, otherwise I won't be streaming at all. But on my socials, I do give you guys some socials. I do give you a heads up on when I'll be streaming, just so you know, folks. All right, now just give me a minute, folks. I need to get a quick sip of water. Alright. Now let me play the radar for you guys. So before we can get into Kingdom Hearts 2, which will take about a couple minutes of your time, but before we do that, we just got to talk about the weather. And as a meteorologist, it's a must. Of course, this is national weather, just so you know, folks. So let's get this over with. So what do we have here? Okay, let's start off in the northeast. Or rather, we start off with with 99 active weather alerts, 6 severe thunderstorm warnings in California, Ohio, New Mexico, Alabama, and Canada. 15 flash flood warnings in Ohio, Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Maryland, Indiana, Arkansas, and Pennsylvania. There's 1 special marine warning in Maryland and 12 special weather statements in Ohio, Arkansas, Colorado, Louisiana, Michigan, Idaho, Oregon, I think I already said Oklahoma, Texas, and Mississippi. There are 9 non-precipitation alerts. 8 of them are extreme heat warnings. And 1 air quality alert. So where is that? That's located just outside of LA in Riverside County. A lot of pollution going on, folks. For those of you who have health issues, please exercise caution and do need to seek medical attention if you guys are facing severe complications. Don't hesitate to reach out to your loved ones because they're the ones who can save you. 48 flood warnings and 8 red flag warnings. Okay, so let's start off in the northeast. So what do we got in the northeast? So we got plenty of showers and thunderstorms moving in from the Ohio Valley, moving in towards New England. And it looks like the New York City area is going to get hit with some thunderstorms. So we had a few stray showers and thunderstorms earlier in the afternoon, but that's faded away. I mean, that was supposed to be for my area, but that has faded away. It was not strong enough to cause any trouble on my way home. But although there are plenty of thunderstorms moving in, places like Philly, Binghamton, Scranton, Syracuse, Kingston... Well, not New York, because there's already a Kingston right between Albany and New York. There are flash flood warnings in southeastern Pennsylvania, and as well as near Baltimore, along with a special marine warning there, choppy waters in the Chesapeake Bay area, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, even West Virginia. And although there are some thunderstorms that are moving in towards the Washington, D.C. area in a matter of minutes, probably about an hour or two, but I'd stick with about an hour from now, just so you know. New England, for the most part, it's quite dry. I mean, although there were just a bit spotty clouds and showers for the most part, but it's all fine, including my area, my part of the New York City area. A stationary front has been positioned throughout places like western New York, northern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, Long Island, and then out into the open waters. Then we go down south towards the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, where there are plenty of thunderstorms in action all across the south. Some areas don't have one, but others do. Like places like northern Louisiana, western Mississippi, southern Arkansas, and northeastern Texas. There is a severe thunderstorm warning just miles to the west of Montgomery, Alabama. And there is a special weather statement just to the east. It's right in Meridian, Mississippi. Carolinas, pop-up thunderstorms in the past 3 hours, yet slowly moving in that direction towards the north-northeast. Georgia getting thunderstorms going, though there are strong enough but not enough to issue special weather statements. All over Florida, there are plenty of thunderstorms to go around. All across the Sunshine State, southern Florida, it's all widespread, but used to be in the Panhandle of Florida, but that part has just been diminishing. Tennessee, less thunderstorms, but still hanging in there with a few that's left over. Alabama, plenty of thunderstorms, strong ones near Montgomery, the state capital of Alabama, and especially eastern and southern Mississippi. New Orleans getting thunderstorms, especially throughout the rest of southern Louisiana. Arkansas, like Little Rock, central Arkansas, and even in northeastern Arkansas, pop-up thunderstorms are present. In Texas, plenty of widespread thunderstorms in the southern and western parts of the state. Wichita Falls getting thunderstorms going right now, but the panhandle of Texas is just nowhere near as severe in terms of weather as those just south of Lubbock, and especially southeast of Lubbock. Flood warnings have been issued throughout places like Louisiana, eastern Texas, Arkansas, northeastern Oklahoma, Missouri, north central Kansas, Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. This part here is, well, okay, yeah. Well, this right here is different because this is a flash flood warning. It's been indicated by radar. Throughout places like Abilene, well, just west and north of Abilene, especially Lawton, Oklahoma. Hold on just a minute, folks. I'm getting some background music. I'm back. Okay. We do have a cold front that comes from Oklahoma, where that surface low pressure center is located, and it's going through places like Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and especially, Michigan, lower part of Michigan, I should say. In the Midwest, there are plenty of thunderstorms throughout parts of the Ohio Valley, including Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, where they have thunderstorms moving across the Ohio Valley right now. But Indiana does most of Indiana has a break in the clouds and a break in the severe weather. And let's go up north towards Michigan, where Michigan is enduring some thunderstorms, just a few parts like Bay City, as well as Sault Ste. Marie. And there's a special weather statement. That's because we have a storm that's present throughout this part of Michigan. Right now, Wisconsin, for the past 3 hours, they've been experiencing some spotty thunderstorms, but some of them have been dissipating. Others still kicking in, still kicking. and it's moving towards eastern Wisconsin, all the way towards Madison. And what about Green Bay? Well, Green Bay, not much going on in Green Bay. Just clouds that started to dissipate before it approaches Green Bay. Though with spotty clouds, it's moving counterclockwise in Minnesota. That's because you have a very strong area of low pressure right here, but it's not showing up. I mean, it's Canada after all. But still, I don't want to be too biased about this, but this is something that we gotta pay attention to for those of you who live in the Midwest. Though in the Dakotas, though, it's quite dry right now, especially in Nebraska and Kansas. Still get some spotty thunderstorms right between Wichita and Topeka. Now we go up north, go up to the northern Rockies, where it's mostly dry. Those spotty showers are in northwestern Wyoming and the southern edge of Idaho. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about southwestern Wyoming. Montana, for the most part, it's very clear. Nothing much going on, nothing kicking. And we got Colorado, where there are thunderstorms throughout much of the state, and it's worst just south of Denver, and especially just north of Pueblo. Some places are experiencing some strong winds and hail. Well, small hail, of course. Utah, there are spotty showers in a few places with thunderstorms, even in places where there are red flag warnings that have been issued throughout the south and center part of the state. Yep, red flag warnings, and especially one in Nevada. Also, there are plenty of pop-up thunderstorms and showers throughout northeastern Nevada. And now let's go down to New Mexico, where there is a severe thunderstorm warning just west of Las Cruces, especially with some flash flood warnings near town, especially in Santa Fe. Plenty of wet weather to go around all across the land of enchantment, and as well as more thunderstorms in southeastern Arizona, all the way towards northwestern Arizona. Oh yeah, and as well as northeastern Arizona as well. But still, there's still plenty of but though there are extreme heat warnings, I bet that could be enough just to cool off. But however, I'm not going to suggest that that's the best way, because air conditioning is your best friend, but when you lose power, you're pretty much relying on rain just to cool yourselves off, unless if, of course, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning like New Mexico, which is not the best thing to experience, folks. Now we go to California. I did mention that there is an air quality alert just outside of LA. There are extreme heat warnings just to the southeastern corner of the state, and as well as red flag warnings in the northern part of California, and a severe thunderstorm warning there, despite the fact that there are red flag warnings there. But, however, there's still plenty of wet weather to go around in the northern part of California. I mean, that is enough to cause wildfires, even though it's summertime and dry weather is an issue throughout the Golden State at this time of year. But, don't count on rain to be your best friend, even though you're under a red flag warning. But thunderstorms, well, they're not your best friends. They could cause more wildfires pretty much any time it pleases. Which means it's going to be a long, bumpy ride for firefighters out there fighting off wildfires out in California. It's going to be bad. In Oregon, well, you're looking at southern Oregon, where there are some thunderstorms in some spots of Oregon, making its way towards the northwest, though, but in a slow fashion, though. With Washington State, not much is going on. It's quite dry there. Okay, now let's talk about a little further in depth about what we're dealing with, folks, in terms of the weather. Now, let me switch the scene right now to the weather websites. Okay, so now you're seeing it showing up. Okay, so let's just zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. Throughout the Northeast, the entirety of the Northeast, winds are generally blowing from the south. I'm not saying exactly moving to the north, but in a way, it's like, oh, like it's just coming from the south. It's coming from the ocean. It's coming from the south. But yet, in some parts of the Northeast, like Pennsylvania, upstate New York, parts of Vermont, winds are blowing at no more than 25 miles per hour. But on the coastline, they may be blowing as close to about 25 to 30 miles an hour. In a few places along any part of the coastal part of the Northeast, though, like the Jersey Shore, the Delmarva Peninsula Beach, some parts of Long Island, and especially in Maine, New Hampshire. But still, winds are still coming from the ocean or from the south, just so you know. Now let's start off with temperatures. Temperatures throughout Maine, they're in the mid 60s to mid 70s. Vermont, New Hampshire, temperatures are in the 70s, especially in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, though it could be a little higher, just about as much as the low 80s. Upstate New York, you do have temperatures that are in the 70s to low 80s. The greater New York City area, temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. And Pennsylvania, you do have temperatures that are in the 70s. Delmarva Peninsula, and especially the rest of Maryland and the Washington D.C. area, temperatures are in the mid 70s to low 80s. West Virginia, temperatures are in the 70s to mid 80s. Virginia, temperatures are in the 80s. Let's go down to the Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Okay, let's start off with the Carolinas, where much of the Carolinas winds are coming from the south, but in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, especially the other coastal parts of the Carolinas, like the rest of North Carolina, coastal North Carolina, and even coastal South Carolina, winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour, but in the Outer Banks, maybe a little higher, though. In the inland parts of the Carolinas, winds are very light there. Just some places may be variable, though. Georgia, also, they're dealing in southern Georgia. Winds are coming from the south, blowing at no more than 20 miles an hour. Northern half, winds are coming from the west, blowing at no more than 15 miles per hour, but very light in some areas. Light and variable, I should say. Okay, what do we have here? Tennessee, its winds are moving towards the northeast, blowing it up to 20 miles an hour. Alabama, Mississippi, for the most part, winds are looking like, well, winds are somewhat light and variable, with the exception of the coastal parts of Alabama, Mississippi, where they're enduring some sea breeze of no more than 20 miles an hour there. In northern Alabama, like Huntsville, Alabama, winds are blowing towards the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour. Louisiana, winds are coming from the Gulf, though they're blowing at up to 20 miles an hour. Arkansas, winds are generally moving towards the northeast at up to 20 miles an hour. Well, we'll get to Texas and Oklahoma in just a bit. Let's talk temperature in the Carolinas. Temperatures are in the 80s. Georgia, temperatures are in the mid 70s to low 80s. Florida, temperatures are in I forgot to mention about the winds in Florida. So what we have here, winds in the far western panhandle of Florida, it's light and variable, but in the Big Bend area, winds are blowing towards the northeast, blowing up to 20 miles an hour. But in the coastal parts of northern Florida, their winds are up to 30 miles an hour. Southern Florida, winds are very light and variable there. But on the coastal parts, like Key West, winds are blowing at up to 30 miles an hour towards the west. Let's go talk about temperatures right now. So what do we got for temperatures? Temperatures, they are in the mid 70s to low 80s. Let's go to Tennessee. Tennessee temperatures are in the upper 70s to low 80s. Alabama, Mississippi, temperatures are in the upper 70s to upper 80s. Arkansas, temperatures are in the 80s. Louisiana, temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. Okay, let me see the chat real quick. And let me take a quick sip, folks. Yeah, it's always important to get hydrated. Let's talk about Texas. Texas, for the most part, winds are coming from the Gulf throughout much of the state. But in some places like the Panhandle of Texas, they're blowing towards the northwest. Places like anywhere between Alpine and Abilene and Dallas, winds are blowing up to 35 miles an hour there. Winds in the Panhandle, they're blowing up to 25 miles per hour. Southern tip of Texas up to 25 miles an hour. And as you can see throughout much of the state, folks, on the western side of Texas, winds are diverging towards the west. And in the eastern side, they're diverging towards the northeast. Now let's talk about temperature in the Panhandle. What do we have here? Temperatures are in the mid-70s to upper 80s in the Panhandle. Western part of Texas, temperatures range from 70 in Alpine to 88 in Odessa. Southern tip of Texas, temperatures are in the 80s, as well as eastern Texas. Northeastern Texas, temperatures are actually ranging from the the upper 70s to low 90s. Now let's go to Oklahoma. For the most part, Oklahoma, central part of Oklahoma, winds are very light and variable, but on the eastern side, winds are shifting towards the east, blowing at no more than 15 miles per hour. In the Panhandle of Oklahoma, especially southern Oklahoma, winds are blowing towards the southwest. But in the southwestern corner of Oklahoma, winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour. But elsewhere, winds are blowing up to 25 miles an hour. Now let's talk temperatures. Temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Let's go to the Ohio Valley, where, what do we have here? Winds, okay, in Kentucky, winds blowing towards the northeast along with Ohio, blowing at no more than 25 miles per hour there. Indiana, winds are blowing to the east, but blowing at no more than 20 miles an hour, especially in Illinois, despite the winds coming from the northwest in the northern half of the state. Southern half of the state, they're coming from the west, but they're both moving towards the east, though. In Kentucky, temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Ohio, 70s. Indiana, 80s. Illinois, mid 70s to low 80s. Let's go to Michigan, where winds are generally blowing towards the east, though. But whenever the winds are in Lake Michigan, they're shifting towards the northeast, though. Winds, however, on the eastern side of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, winds are very light, though, but somewhat variable, though. Wisconsin, winds are blowing, hold on a minute, winds are blowing towards the east at no more than 20 miles an hour there, especially throughout the rest of Michigan. Temperatures in Michigan, lower peninsula Michigan, temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Upper Peninsula, 70s. Wisconsin, temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 80s. Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota and especially most of Iowa, winds are blowing towards the southeast, though. Minnesota, winds are blowing up to 30 miles an hour in some areas. Iowa, winds are blowing up to 25, but in places like southwestern Iowa, all the way towards Waterloo, winds are very light there. Well, some places maybe a little variable, though. Temperatures in Minnesota, they are in the 70s. Iowa, also in the 70s, but to the low 80s. Then we go to Missouri, where temperatures, the winds are blowing from the northwest, shifting towards the east, though. But in the southeastern Missouri, winds are coming from the southwest, blowing towards the northeast, though. Winds statewide, they're no more than 30 miles an hour, generally. Temperatures are in the 70s. Kansas, winds are coming from the north, but diverging. With winds on the western side of the state moving towards the west, and on the eastern side, winds are shifting towards the east. But wind speed is at no more than 25 miles per hour. Temperatures are in the mid 70s to mid 80s. Nebraska, you get winds that are generally coming from the north. But on the western edge of Nebraska, they're shifting towards the west, despite the fact that winds are very light there, a little variable in a few areas. Temperatures, well, wind speeds are at no more than 30 miles an hour throughout much of the state. Temperatures are in the 70s in the Dakotas. In the Dakotas, you do have winds that are moving towards the southeast, folks. But in the southwestern corner of the state, it's very light and variable, though. Winds throughout much of the Dakotas, they're blowing at around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures in South Dakota, they are in the mid 70s to low 80s, and that's the same story for North Dakota. And then we go to the northern Rockies, where winds are somewhat light and variable, though. But in central Montana, winds are blowing towards the northwest at about 30 miles per hour, maybe a little higher in some areas. Wyoming, southeastern Wyoming, winds are coming from the east, but blowing towards the south, blowing at no more than 25 to 30 miles per hour there. But even though Iowa does have winds that are blowing towards the east, northeast in general, but it still doesn't change the fact that in some areas maybe light and variable, though. They're blowing at no more than 20 miles per hour, just so you know, folks. In Montana, you get temperatures that are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Iowa, statewide, in the upper part of, no, not the upper part, the northern half of Idaho, temperatures are in the 70s to low 80s. Southern half, 80s to mid 90s. Wyoming, you do have temperatures that are in the 70s to low 80s. All right, in the eastern half of Colorado, winds are coming from the east, though they're shifting towards the north, towards Wyoming. But, however, winds are very light and variable, though, throughout much of western Colorado, though. Well, wind speeds throughout much of the state, there are no more than 25 miles per hour, about the southwestern corner of the state. Though I can't tell, well, it looks like it may be moving towards the west, though, blowing at up to 30 miles an hour there. Utah, winds are mostly light and variable there, but southwestern Utah, winds are blowing towards the northeast, speeding at about up to 30 miles an hour. Nevada, winds are coming from the south, blowing at around 35 miles an hour, but maybe moving towards the west in some areas. Otherwise, it'll be stagnant, light and variable, as I would say. In Colorado, you do have temperatures ranging from 71 in Colorado Springs to 95 in Junction. Then you have Utah with temperatures ranging from 84 in Logan to 104 in St. George. Nevada, hold on a minute, folks. All right, I'm back, folks. Utah, I mean, I already did say Utah. I remember Nevada, northern half of Nevada, temperatures are in the 80s to low 90s. Southern Nevada, temperatures are in the 90s to upper hundreds, like 109 in Las Vegas. Winds in New Mexico, they're generally blowing towards the west, but the highest wind speed is up to 40 miles an hour, because some areas may be blowing a little quicker than 30. Arizona, some places may be light and variable there, but in western Arizona, winds are, well, in the northwestern corner of the state, winds are blowing towards the northeast at up to 30 miles per hour, maybe a little higher, though, in a few areas. But in southwestern Arizona, winds are blowing towards the east, though, blowing up to 30 miles an hour. In the southeastern part of Arizona, winds are blowing towards from east all the way to the north, blowing up to 30 miles an hour. Temperatures in New Mexico, they range from the mid-70s to upper 80s statewide. In northern Arizona, temperatures range from 86 in Flagstaff to 98 in Kingman. Alpine is at 75. Phoenix and Yuma, temperatures are at 113. Tucson, 106. Let's go to California. So, offshore winds, they're blowing in some place, offshore winds, they're blowing parallel to the coastline. Well, mostly, though, but in the immediate coastal part of California, where winds moving towards the coast, it looks like as though near Eureka, winds are blowing up to 30, 35 miles per hour there, but in Southern California, blowing up to 20 to 25 miles per hour. Moving inland, especially the Bay Area. But in some places, right between the desert and the Sierra Nevadas, and as well as the coastline, there are places that have wind speeds that are around 30 miles an hour there. But what do we have here? Temperature-wise, what happened to the wind speed that I was talking about? Southern California, winds are moving towards the northeast. Northern Central California, and especially Northern California, winds are blowing towards the east, though, but some places may be light and variable there. 71 in San Diego. Okay, so we got temperatures. 71 in San Diego, 80 in LA, 107 in Dio, 106 in Bakersfield, Fresno with 104. San Francisco Bay Area, temperatures are in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Sacramento 97, Chico 98. 100 in Redding and 59 in Eureka. Now we move on towards the Pacific Northwest. The leeward side of the Cascades in Washington State, they are light and variable. Coastal part, winds are coming from the coast, blowing at about up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, but in the immediate coastal parts of Washington State and Oregon, winds are blowing up to 40 miles per hour. Portland, up to 30 miles an hour. In the leeward side of the Cascades, blowing up to 25 miles per hour. But winds in western Oregon, they're blowing towards, from the coast all the way down south and then towards Lakeview. And winds on the eastern side of the Cascades in eastern Oregon, they're blowing winds towards the southwest in Lakeview. Temperatures throughout Oregon, they're in the 80s to mid-90s. Washington State, temperatures are in the 70s, the upper 70s to mid-90s. Now let's take a look at the overall map with gusts. Well, I can tell you, folks, is that there are plenty of gusts throughout the Carolinas, the Delmarva Peninsula, maybe a few places in the New York City area, such as the Hudson Valley, especially Finger Lakes region, Catskills, Ohio, as well as Illinois, northern Missouri. Texas, they're getting a lot of gusts of up to 50 miles an hour, maybe a little higher in places like Sanderson, Texas. In the northern plains, winds blowing up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. New Mexico, northwestern New Mexico, they're blowing up to 50, almost 60 miles an hour. Maybe a few places in Arizona, and as well as up to 50 miles an hour throughout much of Nevada, as well as the Sierra Nevadas in California, coastal part of southwestern corner of Oregon, with up to 50 miles per hour, maybe up to 60. Now let's talk about humidity. Well, there is a lot of humidity throughout places like Pennsylvania, coastal New England, southern New England, I should say, and as well as places like Florida, South Georgia, and Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, all the way towards Missouri, Illinois, and especially parts of Oklahoma and Wisconsin, and parts of Michigan. Now let's talk about rainfall accumulation. So what do we got here in terms of estimates? Well, keep in mind, folks, it's best to Consult with the National Weather Service, your local National Weather Service, in which they offer you the best, the more accurate readings. Or if you do measure your own rainfall, that's great. That'd be great. Now they're in upstate New York, just up to 2 to 3 inches of rain throughout the Adirondacks, up to 2 inches of rain in West Virginia, the Ohio Valley, up to 2 to 3 inches of rain down towards the eastern Gulf Coast, up to 3 to 4 inches of rain in some areas. In Memphis, up to an inch. Texas, up to 3 inches of rain in some places. Western Texas. Alright, so now let's take a look at what's going on with the upper level winds. Let's start off with right now. So this is what we got. Let me check the chat real quick. Nothing much going on there. Okay, so what's going on? So we do have a trough that's located just north of the Great Lakes region. And there is an upper level low just sitting off of Central California. A ridge over the Great Basin and Northern Rockies. And a small ridge just off of the Jersey Shore, off Long Island. Which means there is plenty of wet weather to go around, some severe weather throughout places like the Ohio Valley, and as well as some wet weather that's occurring in places like Central California. Well, actually, make that Northern California, because let's just say for the record that Southern California, they don't get much rain unless if it's extreme enough to lead to that event. Well, of course, there is plenty of severe weather to go around throughout much of the South, though. I mean, that's all because you do have plenty of stagnant air. I mean, not much going on, not much of upper level winds, just plenty of daytime heating, which is responsible for all of the daytime thunderstorms and such that occurs just now on a daily basis. I mean, it's summer. What do you expect, right? Okay, now let's move on to 24 hours from now, which is tomorrow night. All that trough will occur throughout the eastern half of the Great Lakes region. There's a big ridge just over the Rockies. An upper level low located over West Central California, which does indicate a trough. Which means there's going to be some weather that's going to occur throughout some parts of the desert Southwest, Great Basin. And there's going to be some severe weather that's going to occur throughout the Northeast. And some wet weather throughout some places in the South, though. But we'll get to that momentarily. And now let's move on to Wednesday night, where there is going to be a trough just north of the Great Lakes region. And just a little bit over Long Island. A ridge just over the Central Plains, Southern Plains. Upper level low over Central California. Which means that there is going to be some wet weather throughout the front range of the Rockies. And maybe some in the desert Southwest, but I'm not too confident about that. There's going to be some wet weather that's going to occur in some places in the Northeast, as well as the Great Lakes region, as well as the Northern Rockies too, but we'll take a look at that momentarily. Finally, what we have here on Thursday night is that we do have a ridge. It's going to occur throughout the Missouri-Mississippi valleys, right over Missouri and Iowa. And there's also going to be a tiny bit of an empty ridge just over the desert Southwest. And I think there's going to be some ridging over there in the Pacific Northwest, and some flattened trough over Canada, Western Canada. Upper level low located just north of New England and the Adirondacks, which does indicate a trough, which means that there's going to be a lot of wet weather throughout much of the Northeast, as well as the Great Plains, Northern Rockies, and parts of the Pacific Northwest. But we'll take a look at that in just a few minutes, folks, just to see if I'm right or wrong. But before we can get back to Radar Omega, I just want to point out to y'all about this system right here. There's a disturbance located in the Gulf of Mexico, and all of this, it's because there is a weakening low pressure. Let me just go back to where we're at right now, and just to see on what's going on right now. Let's see. My suspicions are correct. Okay, so basically, I mean, there is an upper level high right there. Right now, this is okay. So just so you know, folks, what you can see is that near the southeastern U.S., the frontal boundary is expected to stall and weaken off the southeast coast late this week. An area of low pressure could develop from the weakening front by the weekend over the Atlantic waters off the southeast U.S., over Florida, or over the eastern Gulf. Some gradual tropical or subtropical development could occur thereafter as the low moves little. Formation chance through 48 hours, which is really low, 0%. 7 days, 20%. But let's just see about that. Of course, there's nothing much going on right now, but let's see, 24 hours from now. Okay, so this is what we got so far. I believe that there is something going on. I mean, this is just the GFS model that you're looking at, folks. I mean, something could form like right around here, but I mean, it's going to come from here Wednesday night. Yeah, nothing much going on, like either here or here. Yeah, right around here is what's being depicted by Friday night, like just over Georgia. I mean, the GFS model doesn't look like as though it has much confidence from what it looks like. Yeah, but the European model. Let's check the European model real quick. Okay, so this is right now. Well, nothing much going on in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, basically, going into the later part of the week, it does, well, there could be something going on, but I'm not really too convinced, folks. Maybe here, but I highly doubt that. I mean, it's a weakening, yeah, it's a weakening front as the National Hurricane Center has predicted. But time will tell, folks. Time will tell. Okay, so now let's go back to Radar Omega. We'll keep an eye on it, folks, on the tropics in the Atlantic. Of course, there is a system in the eastern Pacific, but it's not going to be much of a threat, not even to folks in California, though. Because the waters in California are really cold, too cold to be considered as a perfect place for hurricanes to refuel and cause and wreak havoc along the California coast, especially in LA or San Diego. But it's not going to be, much. I mean, although it's a threat in Mexico, but we're not going to talk much about it, though. Alright, so now, folks, let's move on to the models right now and talk about the next 3 days. And this is what the temperature looks like, but we're only more focused on this part. But let's just try to use this for now. I don't know why, but it seems as though that the 18Z or even the 0Z don't have complete runs. Only the 12Z ones. I mean, we just gotta take whatever we can get at this point, folks. Yeah, we'll just take whatever we can, folks, at this point. Let's start off with what we got for tomorrow morning. So by tomorrow morning, there's going to be plenty of warm lows throughout the East Coast, the South, and as well as the desert Southwest. Chilly temperatures throughout the Rockies. Now we move on towards tomorrow night, where there's going to be a lot of heat to go around throughout the central part of the U.S., Great Basin, California, even the leeward side of the Cascades, and especially on the coastal Carolinas. Now we move on to Wednesday morning, where Wednesday morning there's going to be plenty of warm lows in the Carolina coast, Louisiana, eastern Texas, desert Southwest, parts of the Great Basin too, and even some warming in parts of New England. Chilly lows throughout the Colorado Rockies. Now we move on to Wednesday night, where Wednesday night's going to be super hot throughout the central part of the country, as well as much of the Great Basin, leeward side of the Cascades, California, desert Southwest. Plenty of warmth throughout much of the East Coast, though, but not as much as the central and western parts of the U.S. Thursday morning, there's going to be plenty of warming, plenty of warm temperatures, but it gets really warm in Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, but plenty of warmth throughout the East Coast, Ohio Valley, Central Plains, Desert Southwest, Central Valley, California, parts of the Great Basin. Chilly temperatures throughout parts of the Pacific Northwest, like the Cascades. Finally, by Thursday night, there's going to be a lot of heat throughout the central third of the U.S., especially California, desert Southwest, even parts of the Great Basin too. Chilly temperatures, some places in the Rockies, and especially the Cascades. Now let's go talk about humidity. So what do we got for humidity tomorrow morning? So by tomorrow morning, there's going to be a lot of humidity throughout the South, Ohio Valley, some parts of the Great Lakes region, especially much of the Northeast, and especially some humidity is about to occur throughout the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. But this is not enough to stop the red flag warnings from being issued. Sorry about that. Okay, so what do we got? Throughout, for tomorrow night, plenty of humidity all across the South. Anywhere just east of the Rockies, generally, though it's less humid in the Central Plains, though. Then those down south and out east. And there's plenty of buildup of humidity all across the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. And some humidity is going to occur throughout parts of the desert Southwest. By Wednesday morning, there's going to be a lot of humidity all across the South, the East Coast, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, Central Great Plains, even some in the Northern Plains too. Some humidity throughout parts of the Pacific Northwest and the desert Southwest too. Let's take a look at what's going on for Wednesday night. So by Wednesday night, there's going to be a lot of humidity anywhere just east of the Rockies, though. Plus, in the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest, some parts of the desert Southwest, too, and the Rockies, Great Basin. Let's check tomorrow, Thursday morning. So by Thursday morning, there's going to be a lot of humidity anywhere just to the east of the Rockies, but not much in northern Minnesota and northeastern North Dakota. More humidity is going to occur throughout parts of the desert Southwest. Humidity starts to drop in the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest, though, but humidity will still remain throughout the Great Basin, though. But it's not much, though. There's going to be a lot of humidity anywhere east of the Rockies, but however, in the Western Plains is not as great as those on the eastern side of the Great Plains, the Mississippi Valley. Though there's a lot of excessive humidity along the East Coast and some parts of the desert Southwest. Just some humidity will linger throughout the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest. Now let's talk about Cape. Starting on tomorrow morning, so there's going to be plenty of Cape throughout the South, Ohio Valley, parts of the Great Lakes, Northeast, and spotty places throughout the Great Plains. No, not Great Plains. Rocky Mountains, especially the Cascades, Sierra Nevadas. Plenty of Cape to go around throughout places like lower Mississippi Valley, Carolinas, parts of the Northeast, Western Great Plains, as well as the Sierra Nevadas and Cascades, and even some parts of the desert Southwest too. Let's check what's going on for Wednesday morning. So by Wednesday morning, there's going to be a lot of convection. I don't know why I say humidity in the last few parts, but if I say humidity for the Cape, I deeply apologize for that, folks. All right, there's going to be a lot of Cape all across South Florida, Houston, but a good amount of Cape throughout the rest of the East Coast, lower Mississippi Valley, parts of the Great Lakes, Western Great Plains, and as well as much of the Great Basin too. Let's check Wednesday night. So what do we got for Wednesday night? I can tell you, folks, that there's plenty of Cape throughout lower Mississippi Valley, eastern Texas, upper Mississippi Valley, northern plains. Some convection all across the East Coast, desert Southwest. Well, pretty much much of the western part of the country, though not much going on in southwestern California and the Pacific Northwest too. Thursday morning, there's going to be plenty of Cape throughout the Gulf Coast. Some Cape will be around in the East Coast as well as the Northern Plains. Much of the Great Basin, desert Southwest will get some Cape that'll linger. And finally, by Thursday night, there's going to be a lot of convection throughout the Northern Plains, upper Mississippi Valley. Well, actually, the Great Plains and the Mississippi Valley are going to get a lot of convection, as well as some throughout the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, and even South Florida, too. Now let's find out about precipitation for the next 3 days. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's start off in the Northeast. Cloud showers and thunderstorms all across the Northeast, much of the South, Ohio Valley too, and some clouds will be present and few showers throughout places like the southwestern plains, the Colorado Rockies, parts of the Great Basin, as well as Oregon, Northern California. Straight clouds and showers throughout the coastal parts of the West Coast, in the immediate part, I should say, folks. A lot of wet weather to go around throughout the East Coast, lower Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, as well as Texas, Rocky Mountains, Great Basin, Desert Southwest, and even Northern California and the leeward side of the Cascades too, and as well as some wet weather throughout the Northern Plains too. But some severe weather could occur throughout the East Coast, as I mentioned before. Now, what are we talking about for Wednesday morning? So by Wednesday morning, there is more storms to go around all across the East Coast. Some throughout Texas, Northern Plains, upper Mississippi Valley, some parts of the Desert Southwest, Great Basin. Hold on a minute. All right, folks. Oh, so sorry that I may have. Sorry about that, folks. That I forgot to unmute the mic. Anyway, folks, just here to let you know that, of course, there's going to be wet weather throughout the Northeast, the South, and especially the Rocky Mountains on Thursday night, and even parts of the desert Southwest too. If you guys haven't heard, let me see. All right, let's get back to work. So right now we are. Let's see where we at right now. So let me just ask Pete. Let's go to the palace. Hurry up and chase him. Yeah, that's where we're going right now. I don't want to end up encountering more enemies. Guys, forget about them. Focus on Pete. Pete's always up to no good. He's always a goddamn awful son bitch. Just causing so much trouble for everyone. Ah! Okay, now I gotta fight back. You are getting greedy, every single member of the Heartless clan. I gotta take this. Okay, we're going back to Agrabah. Guys, run. Go into the palace. Ah, the big guys. They got security guards. Okay, so we're going to the palace. Oh, there's Pete, that fat piece of shit. Yeah, screw you, Pete. You want it, you gotta fight us first. There's no such thing as a free lunch for you, you fat piece of shit. Oh yeah, Iago. That guy. No, what a fool, Iago. What a dope. Ah, great. Now Pete's gonna use that against us. Genie! Aren't you supposed to have legs? Dude, you're free. You shouldn't be, taking people's wishes anymore. He's not Al. I don't think so. Okay, so now we gotta deal with these guys. We need to come up with a strategy, you guys. Damn. Damn. Damn it. Look out. Ah. Yeah, he's gonna be a lot more difficult to beat, folks. Alright, guys. Yeah, I gotta teach these motherfuckers a lesson that they will never, ever forget. Damn it. Yeah, we can take down this guy. Hey, you're going down. Boom. Oh, you guys are so... You guys are so going down. Enough of you fat flying pricks. Ah, I thought that would heat things up. But no. Damn it, I can't even fight back. You're going down. Damn it. Here we go. Ah, damn it. Ah, the ice got worse. That's even worse than getting hit with fireballs. Ah. Okay, one down. Two to go. Okay. You're going down, motherfucker. Yeah, you're going down. Get me out of here. Fuck. Ah, there's no avoiding that shit. Finally, we got it. We got the work done, so that's good. But this is not over, just so you know, folks, because Pete's so persistent. Then come at me. Scaredy cunt. Oh, the flying carpet. Pete should have just come at me while he still can, but he's still a scaredy cunt. Hold on a minute. Never mind. Well, now the lamp's been sealed away. Yep. Need to find Rico and the King. King Mickey, that is. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. What an idiot, that chimp. Oh, no. Dude. Donald, you dope. Bullshit. Donald wants all of it for himself. I didn't think we reached the end of Agrabah, folks. To be honest with y'all. Okay, we got the lamp charm. Yeah, I think this is the part where we're up against Organization 13, but I think Pluto is... Now we're seeing Pluto right now, the dog. Pluto, don't go in there. It's not worth it. What are you doing, Pluto? Oh my god, what is that dog doing to get itself into trouble? There's Kyrie right there. Oh shit. Organization. I hate that guy. That guy's gonna steal Kyrie again. And I mean again, I don't mean like him again. I mean like Kyrie's gonna end up becoming the damsel in distress again. Uh-oh, the nobodies are there. Yeah, you gotta follow Pluto, Kyrie. I agree with Kyrie on that one. Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow. At a young age. That's terrible for them. Looks like Twilight Town's back. Let's see what level we're at right now. I think we can land, right? Yeah, if you guys haven't really um, paid attention last week, I've actually watched Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought it was a decent movie. That was pretty good. Don't even think about it, Jack. Don't you dare go into that world. You idiot. Don't be as idiotic as Oogie Boogie. That guy is such a fat moron. Of course. Zero the hero. Right, guys? Okay, we're in Halloween Town. Okay, that's the gate is chained shut, so we can't go there. What we can do is that we can open the chest in the meantime. Zero knows where to go. Let's go into town. And you decided to come back. Oh, no. Dude. Are you high or something? Did you get some Christmas high, some drugs from Christmas Town? Yeah. Yeah. Think Yeah, you can't really mix Halloween and Christmas together. Yeah, let this be a lesson to everyone here. Never mix Halloween and Christmas together. I mean, you can try, but when you're in Halloween Town, you can't do that. Just doesn't seem so right. It's supposed to be scary, not jolly. Spooky, not jolly. I mean, hello? Oh, right. Hold on just a minute. Just give me a moment, folks. I gotta deal with a little business I need to take care of. There we go. Now I just banned spammer. Oh man. Hold on just a minute, folks. Something's up with the Radar Omega thing. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I know I may not be paying attention to what's going on, folks, but bear with me on this because I thought it was some technical issues. I wasn't really paying attention, so I'll just keep on guessing. I'll just leave it like this in the meantime. In the meantime, let's check on the abilities for Sora. Can't really do anything about it. Jack, Donald, Goofy. Oh, Goofy, yeah, he's got something, but I'll try auto limit. Now let's save real quick. Because after all, a friend of mine told me that saving is your best friend. Level 23. Huh, I haven't really gotten to the level 24 yet. Yeah. That's a Pandora's box that Jack Skellington is opening up right now. Halloween Town map. Modify the train, climb over it to... Might as well just save it again because I opened the chest. We need to beat the Heartless. Let's, yeah, we'll get this done, Mayor. Let's kick their asses. We got plenty of heartless, Oh, you want some, huh, Joker? Got some cockroaches, swarming, Jokers, all over. Oh, I see. Sora leveled up to 24. Well, that's long overdue. That should have happened back in Agrabah. Ah, damn it. Jack Skellington, level 25. Shit. Okay. Sandy Claus. Of course, Goofy, knows that Santa Claus. Santa space Claus. Santa Claus. Looks like Maleficent has showed up. She really is an old hag. Okay, pass through the graveyard. Let's save real quick before... Oh! Damn! Yeah, better not go through that again, because that is too frightening. That's a guillotine, if you haven't noticed, folks. Yeah, it can't be used for food preparation. Oh god, did we have to start all over again? These guys are just plain annoying as fuck. Let's go to the graveyard, folks. Ah, dick. Are you kidding me? Okay, so we're not gonna go through there. Let's go here. Ah, more of those guys. That's great. Goofy leveled up, but he's not here. I don't know why. Like, they just give Goofy a level up for some weird reason. Yeah, maybe I should have saved this game for Halloween. Like in October. So that way I play Luigi's Mansion for you guys. I mean, it'll last for about a whole day. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Marlon. This is episode 12 of Kingdom Hearts 2. Hope you're having a good night or day or whatever it is, whatever time it is in your area. For me, well, I only got about less than 30 minutes streaming. Plus, I got to do the weather topic of the day, so that's something that we cannot, close without. Got the Mithril Stone. There we go. Jack. Okay. Sora, come on. Imagine that if that were a trip to hell. Sora would be so gullible. He'd fall for anything. Damn, Don. Seriously? Oh, it looks like Donald changed into a snowman. Sora. Well, it looks like everyone is into Halloween, Christmas themed instead of Halloween themed outfits. Why not? Looks like Goofy's a reindeer. Let's save real quick, but before we do that, I just need to go shopping. More potions. Got this. Save real quick. We're on our way to Christmas Town right now. Christmas Heartless. I'm gonna take care of the big guy first. You big guy. What the hell? You gotta be careful of that black smoke. Damn it. Fuck. Gotta retreat. Damn it. Can't go anywhere near. Yep. At his workshop. Right. Okay, we got it. Let's keep going. Not really. Naughty. Not really. Oh boy. Yeah, Jack. Oh. Oh, looks like we'll be able to find out about that story right just about it as I open the chest. Oh, move, Jack! Don't cause any more trouble. Let me save real quick. Santa's house. It looks like Maleficent's here, along with 3 naughty children. Oh, looks like we'll have to teach those kids a lesson. What about Maleficent? Yeah. They're playing hide and seek. Going back to Halloween Town, or at least one of them. Let's see. Footprints are completely faded. They seem very old. Oh shit. Can't believe we have to fight a bunch of Goofy, where have you been? Save again. We've gone back to Halloween Town. Yeah, it looks like we got more Heartless to deal with. Move. He's dead permanently, and I'm not talking about him being Oogie Boogie, the living dead. I'm talking about him being permanently dead, as in completely mortal. As in double dead. Well, this is business, folks. This is what we're here for. Kicking ass. Excellent, Donald. Ah. So annoying, those cockroaches. Let's open the chest right now. Serenity Gem. Oh, great. I thought Oogie Boogie, died. Twice. As in, permanently dead, but now? He's back to life. Looks like we'll have to kill him again. We'll squash them. No, this is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought. Shit. Just had to attack me just before I even get... Well, not really. Just attack me just as soon as I fully recovered. Duck. Shit. Damn. Fuck. I'm gonna beat your ass right now. The camera angle's so awful. Damn it. Ah, shit. Gotta finish this one off. Okay. Yeah. Ah. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I can't really. Yeah, I can't do anything about this. Man, I can't make progress on anything. Ah. Yeah, I gotta defend myself right now. Nothing in my arsenal right now. Okay, now I'm ready. Yeah, this is making me dizzy, folks. Run. Camera angle's very, very, awful. Great, we're doing this all over again, unfortunately. Shit. Damn it. Alright, excellent job, you guys. Excellent job. Damn, they got away. Why is Santa in Halloween Town? He should stay in Christmas Town. It's not safe for him to be here. Sally. Oh no. We'll see about that. Can't believe they just let her go. They let Sally go. They could have just hid from Jack and Soren, Donald, and Goofy. Alright, guys. Yeah, I gotta end the stream. Just so you know, folks, I reached my time limit. It's time for me to get back to, get back into town, save, and then, guys, don't fight the Heartless. Here to save, and then end the stream. Okay, we're still at level 24. Okay, so now let's end it right here. Okay, we're gonna head back. Give me a moment, folks. Okay, so here we are. Now it's time to change the scene to here. Right. Well, we're just gonna end here, but before we do that, we gotta do the weather topic of the day. And what's the weather topic of the day, folks? I'll tell you what it is. Just a few moments. Just a moment, folks. Okay, this is actually something that I've been asking myself. What does the MRMS radar stand for? So here it is, folks. So the weather topic of the day is, what does the MRMS stand for? MRMS stands for Multi-Radar multi-sensor system. It's a system used in meteorology to integrate data from various sources, including multiple radars, surface observations, and numerical weather prediction models to create high-resolution weather information. The system is used operationally by the National Weather Service and also serves as a research platform for developing advanced algorithms. Alright, folks, there you go. That's the weather topic of the day. Okay, now it's time for me to wrap this up right now. Oh, yeah, when I'll be streaming the next time? Well, I'll be streaming you guys on Thursday. Well, nah, not Thursday. Rather, Wednesday. Probably either 6 to 8 p.m. or 9 to 11 p.m., depending on the mood. I mean, if it's 6 to 8 p.m., it'll be Minecraft. Otherwise, 9 to 11 p.m. for Kingdom Hearts 2. But tomorrow, there's no stream. Not only, because of severe weather that could potentially disrupt the stream, but also I got laundry to do. So I'm placing my bet on, whether if laundry can be done or not. I don't know why I just said that, the whole part, but I'm hoping that I get my laundry done before severe weather strikes or even after the severe weather strikes. Point is, folks, I'm going to stream for you guys on Wednesday, but it's best for you to turn on the notifications after you hit me with a follow, just so that you guys will know exactly when I'll be streaming the next time, whether if I stream on Wednesday or not, as I've mentioned many times throughout many streams. Alright, folks, I'll see you guys Wednesday, and until then, peace out, everybody. Love you all. Signing out.